Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the internet where your cesspool is my jacuzzi. I'm here with Snitzel Ninja and our friend Layla from PS Creative Studios. We're just going to talk to her a little bit about the update on the legal case that's going on because, as you guys know, Laura Owens had used.
Oh no.
She's
frozen.
I'm back. All
There
right.
we go.
So she sent a complaint to the Better Business Bureau, which was closed already, and then one to the Attorney General. And I don't know if there's any update on that one, but we just wanted to have her come and join us for a little bit because we're curious about what's been going on since then.
All right. So first, I want to say thank you to everybody who donated to the Give, Send, Go. You guys are amazing. And I admittedly was in Texas last week for work, and I was in the throes of end of Q4. So everybody was messaging me like, what, are you just not going to do anything anymore? And I'm like, no. I haven't been able to stay as focused on this. There's things that my lawyer said we kind of need to wait on before we can take any next steps. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm busy. We went totally dark and silent. And so people were freaking out. And I want everyone to know, first and foremost, before anyone tunes out, that we are good stewards of your donations. And we sincerely appreciate that. So rest assured, nothing has changed or stopped. But in terms of what's happening right now, I have to be careful with what I say, because as everyone knows, what you say can and will be used against you. So as it pertains to this, a couple new developments. The Arizona Attorney General has not gotten back to us still. Better Business Bureau, like you said, was dropped, and we have sent communications to said female. As of today, when we spoke with our lawyer, he said there needs to be a communication stating that if she would like this to stop right here and not continue further down a much more legal route, then you need to give her the option to be able to pay what she owes in full. She can pay a penalty due to the chargeback. You will be charged fees, and she needs to drop her Attorney General complaint, drop the Better Business Bureau if that's not completely closed and shut, and this can stop right here. I said, that's fine. They drafted the letter. I sent it personally, so I know it was sent. I actually have it in my email. Demand for payment and resolution of dispute, and that was sent at 4:55 today. So
Okay.
that's been the latest of what has been going on the female front.
Is there a timeline for when she has to respond to you?
Yes, there is. She has until December 23rd to make payment in full.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, what was I just going to say? Man, my head is all over the place today. I apologize, folks. Okay, let's see. That was communication with her. As we all know, the person who's the most lively in communications through the interwebs is not her. It's actually him.
Yeah.
And so that's a completely different discussion in its entirety, which there also has been progress made on that front.
Okay. So I don't want to advertise for him anymore, so I try not to say his name. It slips out sometimes because I'm so used to just saying it, but I now refer to him as Lord Voldemort. So maybe without the Lord, but you know what I mean. So I just, I'm kind of going the route that, Dave pointed out, where I'm just like, I'm not even going to give this person the free publicity anymore. I think most people who are watching this know that I was pretty friendly towards, his YouTube channel when he first started it. And then he, of course, threatened me with a lawsuit. It was recently the 10 days from YouTube that he had to either provide a proof of a legal action or like the video would get restored. He let the timer run out on that. But he made sure everybody knew that he still has 3 years to sue me if he wants to. So he's, still on his bullshit. So it's been great. It's been great. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about that? I actually talked to my husband about this. If you go to see a movie, right? Warner Brothers owns the movie, but then you go on to Rotten Tomatoes and you leave a play-by-play review of that movie, that's totally legal and acceptable. How is this any different?
I don't think it's that different. Basically, like, especially with the Reddit thing where, he subpoenaed to try to get the Redditors' information, which she was just doing like a written like kind of a recap, but kind of giving commentary. So it was mostly just like her thoughts on what was said, and it's like talking about a public interest case and stuff like that. So there's really, in my opinion, there's really not much of a difference there. For me personally, with what I did, like I did show his video on my screen, you know, when I was covering it, which
The
is
entire video or just parts of it?
I skipped over some of it. I skipped over parts about his personal life. I skipped over anything that wasn't relating to the public interest case. When he showed his gun on screen, I skipped that. So there was a lot of stuff that I like did talk about, but I did skip some parts, and I was like, yeah, you got to go like listen to him tell his story if that's what you want to hear. I'm just here to talk about, you know, the public case and all that. And I was like very much like, I don't want to hurt the guy's feelings and everything like that. Like I was like very, I feel like very gracious towards him.
My entire team, by the way, thinks you're like the nicest, most eloquent, like well-spoken human. Because people, when I was gone last week, they caught up on all of these lives and things. And so they basically had hours of screen time with you. And everybody was like, wow, Lauren is just so nice. She's so well-spoken. Like, what an amazing gal. And they said Dave, you know, funny, hilarious, like with his, you know, impersonations. But I could see you being so nice about this. I have not watched the video that's in question. But
it's gone now. I made it private as soon as it got reposted. I privated everything where I ever said anything good about the guy or tried to tell people to go to his channel. It's gone now. Like, way to go, man. Awesome. Good job. You know,
taking out the trash.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but tell them I said thank you. I really appreciate that. I think that I definitely have my moments where I've been like throwing around some pretty ugly words, but I try not to do that.
Oh, God really forbid you be human. Jeez, I'd be a little pissed off about these.
That's what I'm here for, is the trash. And then Lauren's like, all right.
Well, that's why we're friends. I mean, Snitzel Ninja gave our guest a very interesting welcome tonight, but you guys weren't privy to that, so I'm not going to say any more than that.
It was really a good impersonation, too. I mean,
I'm just going to say I did not.
Why do you know that and I don't?
No, I don't know who exactly it was, but just in the general vicinity. Anyways,
exactly. It's like the quintessential.
Enough said.
Quintessential voice.
Yeah, we're good.
Back on topic. Anyways, so when it comes to said mail, we've had great conversations with the people over at the Arizona State Bar. So that's all I'm saying on that front. I found out from my lawyer that lawyers are not allowed to be involved in anything that involves a complaint against the bar. So I made the mistake of actually adding mine on to the original complaint. He was like, no, you got to take, like, I have to respond and be like, I have nothing to do with it. I was like, oh, didn't know that. Sorry, my bad. I just wanted you to be privy to like any actions that I take on my own so that, you know, you're not billing me $500 an hour just for like getting up to date on the case. We're actually effective with the money that we've got to put this thing to rest. And so that's an interesting thing, but they've been responsive. They have literally every piece of evidence, and they now through their platform have the ability to go into that Dropbox file where every time something stupid gets posted, we just keep adding to that bank of information, which believe me, there's no shortage of that. I was in Houston and I was looking at stuff because people screenshot it and send it to me, and thank you to all of y'all who do that. I was just like rolling my eyes. The stupidity.
It's been very bizarre. Even like to today, he's still going now, arguing with Ian Runkle on Twitter and basically like doubling down and like digging his hole deeper. And basically now saying, well, the judge couldn't have done anything other than what I said. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I want to shake him and be like, what are you doing? But that would be helpful. So I'm not going to do that. I don't even know what else to say. No, of course not. No.
So I have a question. In one of his nasty comments on Twitter, X, whatever we want to call it these days. By the way, if you have a lawyer, which I highly doubt, please have them get in touch. I don't like dealing with pro se folks. What does pro se even mean? Am I stupid?
You represent yourself. Like you don't have a lawyer.
Oh, no, I just don't have unlimited amount of money to waste on my lawyer. Thank you.
I don't think most of us don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure none of us do. So
it's like, sorry, nobody got a Christmas gift this year on my team because I had to deal with this bullshit. Absolutely not. Priority.
Maybe we should send them presents. Snitzel, what do you think? We should send them something.
That'd be great.
Let's do it. You guys are getting a present. It's involuntary. Don't even say anything. It's gonna happen.
No, wait, I have a really good idea. It's gonna be a better version of the infamous mug.
Is it gonna be better than my mug?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so. You should hear the shit talking that goes on in the office, though. It's so funny. Every time someone does something stupid, we're like, don't be a blank. I can't say the names out loud. Or if someone's acting like an idiot, I'll be like, oh, that's not a good look. You're sounding like a deranged lawyer right now.
Oh my God.
Stephanie B posted the link to the PS Creative fundraiser, guys. You can still donate at that link, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's still live unless they shut down, which I don't think they do.
I doubt it. Let me look at it right now.
I think you have to shut it down yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I have not done that, but I have. See, that's the thing. Last week I was like work mode with clients, super freaking busy, but I also was in communication mode, getting our ducks together. And I was looking at our chargeback. So that original chargeback date, let me pull that up, was, let's go to Stripe. Oh my God, if I could.
Also, it's still working, and you've raised $2,106.
You guys are amazing. That's what, like 5 hours of legal. That's awesome.
What I want for Christmas is for people to get them closer to the 4,500. So that's what I want, guys.
Heck yeah.
Cat Lady Ballerina, thank you for the $2. Twitter plus X equals Twix. Oh my God, they're gonna get sued by a candy company.
That's good. That's so smart. Okay, I'm gonna use that. And Cat Lady Ballerina, you're a badass, dude. You literally are just
Very cool.
moving and grooving. Okay, so the chargeback was, we disputed it back on 13 days ago. And then we went into Stripe today and we're looking around. It says your response on December 6th is being reviewed by the cardholder's issuing bank. We will notify you when they make a decision, which can take up to 3 months. However, they say we do expect a decision by January 10th. So two various things that are being said on the Stripe platform. However, she has the opportunity once and for all. This is the last opportunity to say, you know what? I'm going to use the link that you provided. I'm going to pay the $350 plus $100 for the chargeback fees, and I'm going to put this thing to bed. So we'll find out in 3 days what transpires on the female side of this thing. I think that these are two separate arguments now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I get that for sure. I mean, he has different responsibilities as far as his words go, especially publicly. And like, I've never seen anyone in law, like, and admittedly, I don't follow a ton of legal cases, but I've never seen a lawyer or anyone involved in the law profession speak the way that he does on social media platforms. I'm just kind of like, okay, this is not.
No, I mean, it's completely unhinged. It's crazy. I run a business. I wish some days that I could be unhinged. I wish I could say all this shit that I say when the camera's off. But once again, I have to uphold a certain standard of etiquette and responsibility and professionalism in general. So we keep those things in our brain and we don't let them out. And we certainly don't turn on our freaking YouTube cameras and go, hey, world, let me go on an absolute rager right now.
Exactly.
Well, that's been happening like once a day. So it's been crazy. Even, was it yesterday? He did the thing with the judge. And it's like, I'm not reading this. I'm not going to like fucking cover this blog on YouTube. Like, I'm tired of it. Or his videos. Like, I'm not going to rush to cover these things anymore because they're honestly it's like so pathetic. I'm sorry. It just is. Like,
can you guys give me the Reader's Digest version of this article that she wrote?
Oh, the one where she's like, I, was going to off myself or whatever. And
whatever was last week's like article that was published and posted.
I actually refused to read the whole thing, but I read most of it.
Solidarity.
If it is that one, she was just, basically saying she contradicting herself, saying that last year she did get to the point where she wanted to off herself. She mentions the message she sent Dave Neal, where she said, like, basically, if anything happens to me, the blood is on your hands.
It's so manipulative, by the way.
Dave. And so now she, I'll go back and say something else she said about that previously, but she is now saying that happened. She was going to do that. She's on the bathroom floor, but what was it? The 5 minutes? Well, was it 5 minutes?
She says she, keeps going in 5-minute increments.
Yeah. So it's like, just take, you can live for 5 more minutes. So then she sat there for 5 minutes and she was still there. Things weren't better, but she was still there. So then she went 5 more minutes. And so she's saying that's what got her out of this. And she's trying to be an advocate for people who are thinking about offing themselves.
Well, suicide rate's gonna skyrocket then.
Here's the thing though with her is no one intentionally, if she feels she's being bullied through the internet, no one even really wants to talk about her. They just want justice to be served, right? They want her to admit, you know what, we're going to be done with this now, right? Like,
Right.
I cannot keep taking this to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. If she were able to do that, guess what? This would stop, right? This would be over with on all fronts. But I mean, clearly that's not what you really want.
As far as like the movement goes, it sucks for Clayton that she would never just admit what she did, but the court can effectively declare that she was lying on his behalf, but with their ruling, especially if the appeal doesn't turn the other way or whatever. And I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I think for a lot of us though, we're very concerned for like Greg and Mike, who never had this kind of like supporting network behind them, and who just like couldn't afford to keep going through the legal system in these fights with her. And like they will never, if she doesn't admit to what she did, they may never have anything to kind of vindicate them in the eyes of like potential employers or anything like that. You know what I mean? So like it's just crazy.
What does Greg, for example, have on his record in pertaining to?
I mean, there's an order of protection against him. And well, I don't know. So she was supposed to renew it recently. She claims that she did, but he has not been served with anything. So we don't actually know because you can't trust anything that she says.
As of right now, it's in limbo. Like as they said on one of the police calls, it's not in effect until it's actually served. So
right. But he did have one in effect that would only have recently expired. And so like when employers and stuff are like, they'll do like background checks, that stuff might pop up and you might not get a job because of it, or you might lose a job because of it, because like she's the type of person who would totally like call someone's, because she did it to Clayton. She would like call someone's employer or somebody that they were supposed to do a job with and be like, this is the kind of person you're doing business with, and like tell her weird story to, and like they don't know any better. So, and
she is still doing, I won't go into detail, but she's still doing it to people today.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, she is still doing it today. And like, say like Mike Maricini, for example, he has the restraining order against him, a domestic violence restraining order, no less, which looks worse and is worse than an order of protection. So when he has, because of the field he's in, I mean, they're always doing background checks for hiring for his type of positions. And he's lost out, and she's probably going to like revel in this, and she probably already knows it, but he's lost out on some really big opportunities with really successful companies because of her false claims and because of this false domestic violence restraining order.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, that's so sad.
It's
also like people will like also just like turn their head at you if they like see that and they don't really know you know what I mean? Like all they're gonna see is this guy was
nobody's gonna take the time to sit there and be like, tell me the whole story.
Right. Just easier
like,
to avoid.
If you see a record, you're not gonna be like, well, I wonder what the circumstances were. You're just gonna be like, oh, that person's bad news. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that too. Like with patients who come into the ER, I have to look up sometimes their background and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh. And I don't really, to be honest, like we don't really have the time, especially in the ER, to ask and to figure out what happened there. And then even if you do, it's like this person came in on a mental health involuntary, evaluation. I'm like, well, are you telling me the truth? So like there's just a lot of barriers, I feel like, for people who've been wrongly accused in that regard.
No, there definitely are. You're completely right.
Yeah. Going back to the article again, I did not read the whole thing, but I read enough of it. I had my dad on a stream the other night. My dad is a forensic psychologist. He's been doing this for a long time. And we were talking about a different case that happened here in Florida, but then somebody in the comments asked about this, like Laura Owens thing. And he said, I can't comment on that because I have the board of psychology to answer to. And I just wanted to, again, like most people already know this, say like the only reason I'm able to come out and say the things that I'm able to say is that I'm not a licensed practitioner. Right, because like I specialize in like immediate crisis. So like I don't have to do therapy with anybody. I'm not a therapist. I would not want to be a therapist. Oh my god. And I'm not a psychologist because I didn't want to go to school for like however many years.
Yeah.
So and I just work with the doctors, the physicians in the ER. They rely on me to tell them like, hey, I feel like this person is safe. We can come up with a safety plan. They can be discharged. That's kind of stuff like that. Or I think this person, what they're saying is actually because they wanted attention from somebody and it sounds like they didn't get it. They don't sound sincere and whatever reason they want to hurt themselves. They're very much like future oriented. They're looking forward to things. They have all these things in their life that they don't want to lose. So like it doesn't sound to me like they were sincere in their self-harm. And like people just like in general, if you say that about somebody, they're gonna be like, oh my God, like you're an asshole. You know what I mean? But no, people are scared to do that. And so like coming out and just saying, hey, like this lady, like what she's saying isn't making sense. It doesn't add up. She seems very much with it. She's, you know, lying, obviously, based on evidence. And this is what I think. I think that she deserves to go to jail. I don't think she deserves to be put in a mental health hospital where they can't really help her problem because her problem is not, it's not like, it's more like pathological in nature. It's not like an acute crisis. So when I read that article, again, I was just like, this again is just showing how insincere this person is and how much they lie about stuff because they were complaining about people calling wellness checks on her and stuff. And she was saying like, no, I'm not thinking about hurting myself or anything like that. And now she's saying she was the whole time. So which one is it? It's just like,
I mean, I can only speak on her behavior towards us, and it's just been absolutely vindictive, right?
Yeah.
There's no other way around it. Calculated and vindictive, and that's been the frustrating thing. It's like it did not ever have to go this far, but you continue to do and make the wrong move on repeat. And like everybody says, unfortunately, we're not going to sit back and be like, oh no. You got one over on us. It's like justice has to be served. My mom even said, she's like, no, justice has to be served. You fight for your fucking business. Like, that's how I raised you. And I was like, that's what I'm saying.
That's great.
Yeah. My parents are fully invested. They're like, no, nobody defrauds your business.
Hope Johnson, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate you. Also, Karen Karsten says, thank you for the $5. $5 for 5 minutes of Lauren and Snitzel. I can survive 5 minutes. And she stole that from a self-harm author who survived their depression. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like it comes off as though she's like addicted to this stuff. She's addicted to like taking people to court, to like creating these problems for herself. Like I wonder if she would even know what to do with herself if this stuff wasn't in her life.
I don't know, but this is definitely the first time or the first.
But it's got to be lonely, right? Like it's got to be really isolating and really lonely. You can't have normal friends. Like you can't. Hopefully, you're not out dating.
Well, that's
what I've been told. There's no job involved, so you have no purpose. I mean, what do you do? What do you do?
If she were to just let them go, then it would be even more lonely, I guess, in her mind. So in my opinion, it's probably because she thinks if she latches onto them and drags them through stuff like this or drags people through stuff like this, then they can't leave her, right? They can't leave her because they're still involved. And they can't hurt her because she's hurting them. That's what I think. So
yeah, I think so too.
It's
so like even with the business, right? Like they perceive, I guess, which I totally wholeheartedly, and I think any rational person does disagree with what they're saying, but she perceived JFC saying anything about you as a slight, and she turned it around and like made it like as if you did something wrong, which you did not. And it's rather than accept, you know, what happened and just moving on with her life, she wants to punish you, is what I think. So.
Yep. Yeah, and she gets mad. She gets mad when she feels slighted. Like even Mike Maricini, for example, they broke up. He said he was moving out of town. Things were fine for about 6 months. They were texting every once in a while. I don't know if they actually met up in person during that time at all, but it was cordial. And then she saw him out at a restaurant with a new girlfriend, a tall blonde, which in my opinion, Laura was jealous of. And she found out that he was still in San Francisco. And after that, she, just from the first name, she found out who this woman was, found her on Facebook, and sent her all like this long message. That's the first time she ever claimed any domestic violence with Mike. So that triggered her so much that she came up with this, whole story.
I mean, how the court of law can't see that somebody is just jealous, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, primarily this happened in different states, right? So with Mike and with the other victims who are unnamed, that happened in California, didn't it?
Yeah, Mike's happened in California. So he's the only California person who the legal, like, she went forward with something legal we know about.
So then Greg was in
Yeah.
Arizona, and that's
Yep.
it's a state thing, so they're not going to cross into like what happened in California,
course.
really. And then with Clayton, it was kind of the first time I feel like it was really disputed.
Yeah, exactly, because it was the first time people were able to put everything together.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And so Clayton, did he go public and talk about everything that was going on, and that's how everything started to
She
spiral
did.
publicly?
She did it. So she went public. She like posted. She or somebody posted like her emails to all these news outlets, or like a video where you could see her outgoing messages to all these news outlets, where she was trying to punish Clayton by like ruining his reputation.
It was like
basically.
3 to 4 months after the encounter. So she was trying to manipulate him behind the scenes. And then when he wouldn't sign the dating contract and all this stuff, she got pissed. And then, yeah, she reached out to all of these tabloids with this story and was like, you can say this and this about me, but you can't say my name and you can't say blah, blah, blah. And the Sun, and the Sun is the one place that actually ran the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so she still to this day is like, it's Clayton going public for fame and stuff like that. I'm like, you literally went public to defame him. Like,
Exactly.
What do you mean? And her lawyer also insists that. And then, like every time they are complaining and like people won't leave Laura alone and stuff like this. Well, Laura brought this to the public. She brought this to us. We don't believe what she said. We can see the evidence that she lied. And now people that she brought this to want her to admit fault for what she did.
This is such a wild ass web. Okay.
Yes.
This is so unrelated. I saw one of the JFC Instagram stories. Don't tell me she goes to my gym. Does she work out at Barry's boot camp too?
I don't know which one she goes to, but yeah,
there's only one in the state of Arizona.
Well, then yeah, she goes to it. She's obsessed with berries. Obsessed with berries. She's been going to it since San Francisco, since she lived there.
I've never seen a Barry's in my life, so I don't know. But
yeah, that's
here we just have a lot of LA Fitness, Planet Fitness. That's about it.
This whole thing is just so like incestually close. Her and I work out at the same place. I think that Clayton and I live in the same building, if not down the street from one another, which is also wild.
Oh my god.
And then I
cool,
know
though.
Ashley Ford, who's married to Greg.
Right.
Yeah,
and I think his podcast studio is near your studio too.
Is it?
I think so. I was told that.
Karen Carson, thank you for the $5. She actually said, I believe Laura looked for a connection with Greg and found the studio. It's a stretch, but that broad will do just about anything to present as a victim.
The only reason I don't think that is because, I mean, but I'm thinking from a logic point of view. So hear me out. Our Instagram, I don't know if we even follow Ashley. I mean, we do. Yeah, we probably do follow her on our Instagram because we do work things together.
Yeah.
But either way, it's just such a stretch. Like, once again, her and I have no pictures together from anything. I wasn't even there when she came in. So it wasn't like she was like, oh, I'm going to meet the owner who's friends with her and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just seems like
the thing is, so like
energy.
she's created this environment where we wouldn't put it past her. That is something she would do. So people are going to question it.
Well, here's the thing. If she doesn't have any money to pay us, there's way cheaper studios. We're the most expensive in town. So I don't know why she didn't pick one of those.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, exactly. True.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Tuttle, thank you for the membership. I appreciate you. And also thank you for the $50. You're awesome. And you are so awesome. No, you're so awesome. We're going to fight about this again. Wonder how baby Jinga, I think she means baby Jinga.
I like
Baby Jinga would feel if he became her latest victim. Hey, TBD, I'm sure we will find out in the near future if that's going to happen. So Yeah. So you went to Texas. You were doing business out there, right? You said.
Yeah.
How did that go? Was that everything good or?
All good. Yeah. Just
Cool.
crazy timing right now. And then we're closed and then we're renovating while we're closed. So my entire team gets to hang out and relax. And I'm going to be at the office redoing everything. So our clients have a new experience in Arizona when they walk in on January 3rd.
Oh, I saw you guys filming the like breaking stuff for like, I don't know, you're
If anybody needs free stuff and you're in Scottsdale, we're giving away free rugs, free chairs, free
broken stuff.
No, none of it's broken.
Okay.
That was a commercial. So that was us breaking shit because we were filming a commercial for a really large company that I'm not going to mention because I don't want that to be
targeted.
Have either of you ever been to a rage room?
No, I need to go though.
I've always wanted to go. I have.
Yeah,
not.
we have one like 20 minutes from me, so I've been there. We went there recently, actually. I feel like it was like maybe 2 months
It was
ago.
like yesterday, and you were just really angry.
So we were like 2 months ago, but I went in there and I was like asking Alexa to play Hannah Montana and shit, and I was just like,
oh my god,
throwing a TV at another TV. It's pretty cool. So yeah.
Now is Party in the USA Hannah Montana or is that Miley Cyrus?
Shh, they're the same person.
I mean, I know, but is it like marketed as one?
Oh, I was literally doing mental
what? I
Olympics
don't
right
know.
there.
I want to say that they marketed that as Miley Cyrus, right?
The lines are blurred. I don't know. I never
don't
watched that.
Lauren, alert! We have a question. What the fuck is your question? You want to tell me what the question is? What's the question?
Also, let's get together and I'll do a rage room. That would be fun.
Okay. You find one and we'll find a meeting. It'll be fun. Oh, what? Can Layla? Why are you guys shouting at me right now? Can Layla confirm if the flyer was sent to Barry's members? Oh, dude, I don't know. Did you ever get a flyer about Laura Owens from Barry's boot camp or whatever? A warning flyer?
I don't believe so. No.
You could have also just been...
I am the worst when it comes to like gym communications. I don't go to like gym events. I'm like, I'm in, I'm out, and I'm on to the next thing. Not that I don't want to. I'm just too old and too busy now. When I was in my 20s, I was like, yay, gym events. Like, I'll read every email. I'm so excited. So if there was something that went out, A, I'd be really effing surprised. And B, what did it claim to be? Enlighten me.
I mean, he posted, there's a screenshot from his video that shows the supposed email that was sent, and it shows that Laura was copied on it and shows being sent to other people. But I wonder if it was sent to the trainers there, rather than like all the members.
Here's the thing. This Barry's Bootcamp has only been open for 1 year. It's so dang new that like, I'm shocked enough. Like this has even happened. I know
Wait a minute. 1 year. 1 year, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how would any of us even know that there was one there if you're not local?
No, for sure.
You would have to look it up and be sure it was her gym somehow.
I can't imagine that this brand new Barry's Bootcamp locations GM would be like, yeah, let's send out some warning letters. I think that's a far-fetched stretch.
Sniffle, do we have the flyer?
Oh God, I'm sure I have it somewhere.
It's around. I don't have it on me, like pulled up or anything like that, because I try not to save things.
Come on, somebody pull this thing up.
Let's do it. We can get it easily. I'm sure everybody that just heard that is like, I did it first.
I know exactly. Yeah, send it.
That it was posted. I mean, I can't believe that Barry's Bootcamp would post.
The flyer is the flyer. The gym flyer that they're alleging was sent to other members of the gym. Was the thing they blew up and had in the studio.
Oh,
right.
The warning thing. So like whatever they printed out on that big thing.
Let's go back to the interwebs. Let's go find a blocked email real quick.
That's one way to do it,
yeah. Gosh, I'm like cringing even typing the name in. Because that backdrop came from Mr. Lawyer Man.
Mr. Lawyer Man.
I think he reads it every night. So
with Aurora. I mean the cat.
Yeah. He does have a cute cat. I'm not gonna diss the cat.
I'm a cat mom. Yeah, don't start dissing cats here, team.
Cat's great.
K-Dubs, thank you for the $10. I have no connection to Dave, The Bachelor, Megan, or LO. It's just wrong and scary. Yeah. So like lots of people have been accused of just like saying this stuff or like disputing what she says.
The only thing in this flyer, y'all, is her flexing, standing in what looks like it might be berries.
Do you see the text around it?
There's no text. It's just her standing there. That's all.
We'll have it. We'll have it in a second. Hang on. Because I know it's in one of the Medium articles,
Yeah.
and then also like all over the place. Hang on. Let's see.
Oh wait, is this the whole? Oh,
You find it?
the whole thing that was their backdrop is the flyer. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Slow to catch on here. Warning: do not come in contact with. Okay. Faked multiple pregnancies in order to trap men in dating her. Falsely accused men of rape, assault, abuse, coercion, multiple lawsuits. Maybe wearing, her photo, online photo, this, resident of Scottsdale on Bumble, edits photos, might be going by the name Emily Wilson, warned friends and family not to engage. Someone at Barry's distributed that?
No, we don't think so. But she said that they did. So like it to me, it's like
I can't imagine that. Like it definitely wasn't anybody who manages it or like has an actual job at the establishment. They'd be like, they would shut that down in 2.5 seconds.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so she claims that somebody distributed that. None of us have any idea what they're talking about, but like
maybe Clayton and I should go work out together. We can be gym buddies.
you should.
Yes.
And we'll get Greg in on it too. Greg and Ashley, come on down. Let's go hit the gym.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
she claims to have her like what is it, fitness certificate now, so she can train, like trainer certificate.
Well, you can't one-on-one train at Barry's. It's group classes only. So if you get certified and they hire you and say, yeah, you've passed all of our hoops to become a group fitness instructor, great. Like I'm a certified USA boxing coach and I used to teach at Onyx Boxing in Scottsdale for a year, maybe 2 years. Awesome. I just got too busy to be able to do it, but you've got to go through certification through Onyx, and then you've got to basically do a tryout. And Barry's tryout is crazy difficult because everybody wants to be a Barry's bootcamp trainer. It's such a esteemed place to work out, I guess, because there's not that many of them. There's like one in not every state, but one or two in very gym populated cities, if you will. Anyways, guys, you can tell I'm kind of brain dead. I can't even speak. But
honestly, no, not until you said that. But now I'm looking for it. So
if I show up at Barry's boot camp and she's an instructor, you can guarantee I'm gonna drop dead. I saw that little clip and I was like, wait, there's no way. There's no way. That would just be such bad luck for me.
Yeah. Well, if you do go there, she's doing that and you drop dead, make sure your family sues the gym.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. I'm looking at this comment. Made the flyer trying to claim it was JFC, like she faked. No, they supposedly did it. Okay, so a bunch of other JFC people work out at Barry's. If you do, hit me up. I would love to meet.
Also, what gym is going to distribute that flyer to its members?
They would never.
No, and the people, whoever allegedly sent it to the gym, isn't going to have their mailing list. So what the fuck are you talking about?
No, I mean Barry's. They don't even send out like specific. Everything's corporate. It's super duper corporate. It's not franchises, so it's not just like franchise owner A. Orange Theory, for example, is franchises. They have a little bit more ability to do random shit. You can't do that at Barry's Bootcamp. They have very stringent things on how the brand's portrayed.
Also, doesn't the URL, isn't the URL wrong?
Oh,
I think it is, yeah.
Man, I already closed it out. I don't know. I'm not going to go unblocking and reblocking and. Whew, that's so fascinating. You guys are educating me.
And
but here's the other thing. Like I told you, Lauren, the thing that worries me the most is just I don't feel like this lawyer is a safe person, if you will. Like I've encountered many lawyers. We've sadly had to sue people who didn't want to pay their bills. Not like this. This was like huge bills. Like, hey, you owe us $30,000 kind of thing. Like,
oh wow.
We do have a lawyer who we work with. So I've been through this kind of arena, but I've never but I've never witnessed somebody just so, I don't know, like malicious in the way that they interact with the public. Like there's no regard for if there was a consequence. My next question for all of you guys is, if the bar actually decides to do something, can he represent himself?
I don't know how that works at all.
Probably pro se.
Okay.
He doesn't deal with pro se folks.
He's an
The
exception.
lawyer have to find a lawyer for themselves.
No, that's a good question, but I would think he could do it, but not as a lawyer, obviously, right?
I don't know if so they wouldn't just like they might like if they were to enact some kind of punishment. Is there like a hearing first? Like how does that work? I don't really understand.
I'm not sure what the process is.
Oh,
like,
I
is it-
can tell you the process. I can pull that email right now.
Oh, yeah, do that. Miss Ani, thank you for the $10. Just wanted to thank all the folks for the positive reactions to the OVE podcast. I'm not in AC, or I'd have for sure gone to PS. Oh,
Okay. I have sent this matter forward to the litigation department and they initiate initial screening investigation. Then the matter is assigned to a bar counsel and then they begin their investigation. Then I will get an email with more information about how to proceed with the matter from that point forward. Basically, if they look at it and they say there's enough here, then we take more formal steps. I would assume there's a hearing involved in which evidence is displayed. And like you said, he can come and I don't think you can countersue somebody for a bar complaint. I don't believe that's real at all. I have another conversation tomorrow at 10:30 Mountain Standard Time with my lawyer, so I can ask. But yeah, and the reason why I have not introduced my lawyer to any of them is he doesn't want to get into the like ring until we've exhausted all sane options.
yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Yeah. And he's already got a big enough name. He's like, I don't benefit from being associated with this low life nonsense, if you will. So I was like, I get it. I totally get it. You're running a real business, and this does sound like a very childish, insane thing to jump into.
Yeah. It looks like you guys made another $100, so that's good on the fundraiser.
Thank you guys so much. You guys are so awesome.
And Lauren, I just sent you the flyer on Discord.
You did? Okay.
Found it. Look, I have so many effing pictures from this whole thing. Screenshots, screen recordings, like documents, all this stuff. So much stuff.
Okay, hang on. Let me.
This is different than what I had.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
interesting. Hang on. Let's zoom in on it a little bit. Hang on.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine's different.
Because yours says the flexing photo.
Yep.
That's right.
There's nothing Barry's boot camp related here.
Wait, so she changed it?
There's
do
two
you think people
pictures.
didn't have it?
There's two pictures in mine that are on mine that are not on yours.
Oh my God.
Let's see
I
if
think
the
I know what
writing
you're
is
talking
the
about
same.
too. Because he had posted a picture on
if you
Twitter where you
zoom
could see it
in
in the background.
on his Twitter defamatory statement, it'll be right there.
Dude.
Here, I'm sending you a picture too of the it's a picture from the Medium article.
How stupid can you be? Like, obviously, you're going to ruin the shred of credibility you might have left if you change the fucking flyer.
Well, no. What if you're the one distributing the flyer to continue this? What if she did this herself for herself?
I mean, in my opinion, of course she did. But, you know,
That's
nobody can
literally
prove
the
that, I
first
guess.
thing that I think. I'm like, okay, you know what? This
Yeah.
is no one else who is a JFC person is out there printing flyers and handing them to people as they walk into Barry's boot camp. They would get kicked out and banned for life.
No.
Guarantee it.
All right,
Yeah.
All right, so this was the whole thing. Is that right?
Yeah, well, just for, like, where she comments on the bottom. Like, this is where she posted it on Medium.
Last month, the Justice for Clayton group sent this flyer to my gym. How somehow they know what gym she went to. The one place where I'd spent years and over. Wait, you said Barry's was only open for a year there?
She probably
In Arizona, it's been open for a year. The one in San Francisco has been open forever.
She probably means like Barry's boot camp is her chain of gym.
Yeah, but still, dude, still, like, it's okay. The one that I've been spent years and over 1,550 classes just trying to feel normal. After skipping several days, terrified of walking back in, I finally found the courage to return. Just stepping through those doors again was the bravest thing I've done all year. Well, you say that about a lot of things, so like, what? Also, like, again, this is throwing me off. The whole I spent years over and over 100 and whatever classes. And
well, yeah,
like,
probably because it opened so long ago in San Francisco. Like, New York and San Francisco have had them since probably well before 2010, I would say. I mean, it's established out there. They just celebrated, I think, 25 years of Barry's this year, and it started in New York. So
I don't know if we have any in Florida.
You do have one in Tampa, I know that, and you probably have one in Miami.
Yeah, I'm northeast. So
Probably not
like
up there yet.
hours, probably like 4 hours away from Tampa, 5 from Miami. So yeah, I've just never seen one. But yeah, okay.
There's definitely two flyers. These are very different flyers.
That's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
We should do a side by side if you are allowed to send that one. We could do.
Hold on. Yeah. 1 sec.
Not necessarily right now, but
Oh, we can do it right meow, y'all.
Meow.
I'm still at the office, so I don't have cats running around. Otherwise, I'd introduce you guys.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Karen Carson, thank you for the $2. Timeline of flyer versus Barry's opening. Yeah, that's what I said. Weird, but I guess because of the San Francisco one. Carrie, thank you for the $10. Love listening to you, smart, thoughtful ladies. Also, as a lawyer, I assure you guys that while we can be assholes, the behavior of David is off the charts. All right, thanks. That's what like every other sensible lawyer has said. So thank you.
Can you see my screen share, y'all?
I can. Yeah, hang on.
Okay, perfect.
Is that it?
Yeah, I can zoom in if you need me to.
Yeah. Okay. So the flyers, I see the flyers when they put the pictures on the side.
Okay. So they added the side pictures.
That makes a little more sense to me then.
But why? Like, why are we adding the side pictures? I don't understand.
Unclear.
If that's not what was distributed, why would we be doing that?
I think she's trying to show like that she was pregnant, which the video is very obviously edited with some kind of app.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen any of those videos. They're not real. And the one on in my opinion.
Whoa. She can edit that, but she can't edit my podcast content.
I think she sent it to somebody and like maybe paid for it or like paid for the app to do it.
Well, she forgot to take the Fiverr logo off something she paid
exactly.
For, so, you know.
Well, why wouldn't you just call Fiverr and be like, "Hey, can you edit my podcast?"
Because then she can complain about you, and you are a bitch. So,
well, and the thing about the Fiverr
not my words.
The thing about the Fiverr image is that I've used Fiverr before. I don't know if you guys have, but they sent her like a mock-up, right, of the edit. And to me, the fact that watermark is on there shows that she didn't pay for the image. She took the mock-up, probably didn't pay the artist who mocked it up for her.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why there's a watermark on it. Because otherwise, if you pay for it, they'll release the image to you.
Yep.
And then so this picture on the right is her trying to show like how skinny she is now because of how like depressed she is and how much stress she's been under, blah blah blah.
I mean,
this
again,
is my
like,
face. Unimpressed.
I don't care about what somebody looks like, what their figure's like. I just do not give a shit. But if you're using that as some kind of evidence that you were pregnant at some point, I don't believe it.
Right, exactly.
It's not believable.
That's the reason to care about what she looks like.
If doctors are telling me the thing on the left looks like gluten belly, and also a graphic designer is telling me, look at this shadows when I like look at it this way, and like this is proving that she edited it, I'm gonna believe the graphic designer. So like,
and the door frame's bending when she turns, like that's not normal.
Further in.
I don't know if you can see it on this, but if you watch the video, I have.
Man, there's so much shit.
I know. There's
I don't even remember some stuff that's happened because I'm just like, that was so long ago. It was over a year ago. Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It looks like she cropped it, and then
you can see on the distortion on kind of the left side, but
and she changed out. What was it for the declaration? In the filing for June 10th, she changed out, like he posted it on his blog, and then she changed out the picture for the actual one that she submitted to court. One that was edited differently. Do you remember like the butt and the belly were in different places?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Man.
Anyway.
Natalia, thank you for the Fiverr for Fiverr. Thank you very much, Natalia. All right.
We've got 3 days until we know if this gets freaking messier and more annoying.
Yeah.
On one side of the fence. The other side of the fence, I feel like this bar thing is going to take a sweet long time because nothing legal ever moves all that quickly, which is just how it works. But
I know that, I mean, some of those complaints that have been submitted, I know that they were submitted back in like July, August, and they're still pending.
That's wild to me that like nothing from that point has been.
Wait,
Some of them have been closed since then, like Dave Neal's has been closed, but the one in particular I'm thinking of is still pending.
I think this is edited, but hang on, let me show you what somebody just sent me. I'm pretty sure this is edited.
Oh my, yeah, that's edited. Yeah. What group? That's
Do I need to sign up?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but he has this on the TV there. Like, that's not real. That's not real, but it's funny.
Too funny.
Oh my god.
Like, please tell me that's not real.
It is so
Okay.
Please do not watch me while you're in bed.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Yeah,
question. So
Okay.
how, I mean, I don't know how many other clients this guy has, but how does
Neither do we.
how does he really, make a living? I'm just curious because he's working
That's
for
a
free on
good
this.
question. That's a good
idea.
question. There are theories. There's information that's been received that it could possibly be his parents, or namely his dad, who has supported his lifestyle because he's got the finances to do so. His sister is super successful, lives in a different state, has a family. So anyway, I don't know for sure. I obviously, like, I don't know. I haven't seen his bank account or anything, or
Right,
who pays the
right.
mortgage on his house. But that's something that has been shared.
I don't know anything about the guy. I always just assume that he has some more like mundane client stuff going on that we don't know about, but that's just me. I don't know. I don't know. People don't really reach out to me and tell me that kind of stuff because I don't ask. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just like at this point curious because we know that the female has no job, and now I just can't imagine meeting this guy and being like, yeah, I can't wait to pay you to be my lawyer. Like nobody's gonna have, if they have a brain, a normal reaction to thinking that way because it's erratic, insane, unhinged behavior. So I don't know. Sorry, curiosity.
I think we're all curious. So I'm just afraid that if I ask, I'll have to hear about him forever. So I don't want to.
He claims to have at least one more client in Florida.
Well, the Cody Wilson thing is definitely legit.
Exactly. And outside of that, he claims, like on one video with the female, he claims that he's like, see, I'm getting calls from my other clients right now, and I can't answer them because like I'm sitting here doing this for free, kind of thing. Like,
but he was waiting for Omar to call. Not gonna happen again, bro. Gotta tell you.
So
man,
who knows?
Omar's a baddie. He's so smart.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's great.
Yeah,
he's so great. We had a private conversation before we did a live. And he told me, he's like, listen, there's a lot of damages that if you really wanted to go in on this, you could regarding him, not regarding her.
right.
And I was like, that's interesting. I am like waiting to see though, because chargebacks are illegal in Arizona when they're fraudulent. And there's obviously plenty of proof that you were there, you used your time, you got your things, blah, blah, blah.
You're on video.
You're on candid camera in my studio. It's so weird. And we have audio giving you your files. Not to get back on that train, but
they're good.
That being said, like,
yeah. Well,
if there's a history of it, I think it could be pretty severe. And it sounds to me like paying for things really isn't her MO. So,
yeah, exactly.
She's not used to losing. So.
Even the victim from Lone Cactus, who lost out on at least $100,000 from her. And almost had to close his business because of her.
Did he fight back though, or did he just kind of deal with it?
He tried to, but she won. He claims still today that he's a victim, that he did all of that work, that the stuff she said was wrong wasn't wrong. So it could have even been, I mean, I wouldn't, based on what I've seen, I wouldn't put it past her to like, mess the work up and blame it on him. And then take pictures and claim that all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
Anyway, I think
she's done that before, right? With like photos from other stuff. She'll be like, "This is what happened. This person hurt me," but actually, it was from like 6 months ago when she had some other
6 months
problem.
prior, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. That was with Mike. She claimed that
right.
he beat her in Iceland, and then we did metadata on the community did metadata on the picture and found out it was from 6 months prior. And
Mhm.
That's
also going
not
through the text messages from Mike, you can see that it was sent to him 6 months prior.
gosh.
Yeah. So
That's
the
crazy.
attorney who like he was given all this as an exhibit as part of the court case that he was responsible for because he was representing Laura in the court case. And now he's claiming I didn't read the text with Mike or the text from Mike. And I'm like, what do you mean you didn't read them? You received them as part of a court case that you were working on. You better have read them. Like, what do you mean? Are you just telling everyone you're a bad lawyer? Like, what's going on here?
That's
And
Yeah.
it was used to establish a pattern, so he should have cared about it.
But I maintain, I guess, that if he did that, or maybe he did and just doesn't want to admit to it, then he would have to recognize that his client has been way less truthful than he's ready to admit.
It's like
So,
he avoids what he needs to in order.
right, just like with me, he avoided the fact that I referred people to his channel. He avoided the fact that I turned monetization off for my video. And he avoided the fact that like I was not the one who said watch Lauren instead of David. Like he's
you
just
know what though? If he wasn't working this case for free for said female,
mhm.
he would be completely irrelevant. Nobody would
Mhm.
ever know his name. Nobody would ever pay attention to his channel. He would be not even on a scene. This
Yep.
is what feeds his entire ego and entire being is unfortunately once again us sitting here talking about the injustices that are going on, but there's millions of lawyers out there and some of them have YouTube channels, but this guy would not be one who would instantly become relevant.
Mhm.
This pro
No, he
bono
shot himself
case
in the
is
foot.
the only reason the only reason he's relevant. I think that's why he's enjoying this more than anything.
Yeah,
So
and I think also like with the appeal and with the Rule 26 bullshit, I think that he sees an opportunity to really make a name for himself. If this appeal were granted, or if he I think that he saw an opportunity to make a name for himself even outside of her. I think that he realizes she's like mhm, I don't know what the right
maybe
word to
means to
use.
an end, I guess.
No, that she can be kind of tossed aside at this point,
Maybe she opened the door, but
she
he's
opened the door,
yeah.
exactly, but, like, I think he knows she's gonna lose. I think he knows, like, it's kind of like a lost cause in that sense, but the fact that he wrote, like, that long of an appeal to submit, um, when it really didn't need to be that long at all, I just think that it could be, like, the Gingras Law or something. Like, I think that he sees where he could, like, make a name for himself that way in the legal world.
So a couple, I don't know if I think it was 2 days ago now that he posted the blog about Judge Mata. Was that right?
Mhm.
Okay, 2 days ago he did that, and he did a video afterwards. It was like the first time since all this started that I just decided I'm not giving this guy attention. I'm not going to cover his blog. I'm not going to cover his video. And then for the first time ever, he finds me in a YouTube comment section and responds to me with something like kind of rude and dismissive. And I just responded back. I was like, David, I have indicated before I want no contact with you. Respectfully, leave me alone. Like he just can't do without the attention. He needs it. I'm just like, I'm not paying attention to you. Sorry, bye.
I mean, you don't mess with judges, so that's going to be a very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a colossal fuck up in my opinion.
Saying he's gonna rent a truck and put her name on the side of it and, like,
That's crazy. Yeah.
I don't think he's actually gonna do it, but even to just even say that.
Well, I mean, I hope somebody sends that into this bar investigation because that's unhinged.
Mhm.
Is not somebody who should be practicing in the legal profession.
Exactly, and I wanna encourage anyone who has Twix to go on and if you post about this and tag the AZ bar. That's the like Rachel Mitchell is not in she doesn't need to be notified about that like if you tag Rachel Mitchell, it's only going to further support his narrative that people are like from the community are attacking him.
Well, he's not under criminal investigation, so yeah.
Right. So tag the AZ bar, but like do it over and over and over again and share everyone else's stuff. Please.
Yeah, dude, it's so wild.
If he becomes the latest, oh my gosh, can you imagine? I just read this comment from Clout Trout Goblin. Does anyone think that others, especially from the JFC community, will feel sorry? Oh, it's moving so fast for him if he becomes her late. I mean, would that be the most ridiculous thought process on this planet?
I don't think that I could possibly feel bad for the guy. I might just be like, I think she's lying, but I don't feel bad for him. You know what I mean?
He could have ended this a lot earlier, like the other lawyers did when they realized the situation they were in with her as a client, and they left. He could have done that.
Well, if any of those other attorneys had stuck around and like did what she wanted them to do when she refused to like admit to the truth or whatever, like they would be facing the same issue that he's, without realizing it, he's having now, which is that everybody knows, like, if you have two brain cells that you can put together, you can figure out that this girl wasn't pregnant. And they've had to ask like a dinosaur ex-practitioner or something to like go and say she was pregnant on the stand, like who never saw her as a patient.
300 babies a day for his entire life.
Right, more than the hospital ever delivered in that period or something. Somebody put it out to me. I'm just like, what are you talking about? And I can't confirm that. I can't. But I don't think that it's untrue. So like it's just crazy. So
okay, y'all, quick question. What happened with her previous attorneys?
She had, gosh, someone's gonna have to correct me. She had at least 3 or 4 other attorneys in this case alone. She had other ones for the OOP with Gillespie and with Clayton. But basically, like there was one named Lexi Linval who wanted Laura to sign something saying that she was never pregnant and to like basically drop the case. And I think she signed it preemptively and then decided she didn't want to sign it and she didn't want to submit it. And then female claims that this lawyer dropped the case because she was moving out of town and like moving to a different state and to a different firm. But we believe that was not the case, and that it was because she realized like female was difficult to work with.
She filed a bar complaint on that lawyer too.
She did.
Yep.
Yes. I'm saying like she was coerced. Does that sound familiar? Coerced into signing this agreement when she didn't want to or didn't agree to sign it. Basically, that kind of thing. Then a guy after that, Corey, I think he recused himself from the case, but I can't remember what he cited at the time. Yeah, and then later, it was before the June 10th trial, but near that time, he submitted a notice of candor to the court saying that he became aware, because you're supposed to let the court know if like your client lied. She lied. That he realized in the deposition that was done by Woodnick that she lied in that. And so he filed this notice of candor to like bring up, I think it might have been 2 points of untruths.
And then the new guy threatened him in an email or something. Like,
yeah, there was a whole email chain between the Woodnick. It hasn't been released. Yeah, but it was a whole email chain between the Woodnick law firm and Corey Keith and Gingras about the whole situation and like basically telling Corey Keith like, yeah, you don't have to submit that, like you don't have to file that. And he's like, yeah, I do, and I'm going to.
Dang, man. This is bonkers. Bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, again, like I said, I don't ask about all this stuff, number one, because it's just like, how much do I really want to know? Because this is all like a lot. And number two, because I'm afraid I'll put my foot in my mouth and say something I'm not supposed to. So when people ask questions like that, I'm just like, someone else answer.
No, it's so hard. You have to filter out certain information, right? Or like, well, how much can I say about?
Right.
this and that.
And as far as that email stuff goes, I don't really know anything except that an email was sent. You know what I mean? So
So he had sent me said male lawyer that I am, speaking of, an email that was right after, I think it was the day after, it was the whole Instagram thing of us being like, hey, we want nothing to do with this, and then everything just erupted. Sorry about that, y'all. And that email, I'm going to ask tomorrow. I keep forgetting whenever I talk to my lawyer, I'm too busy and I'm thinking about all the more important stuff. But I'm going to ask if that's something that would be detrimental or not to share. Because that's really where the crazy comes out in written format, in direct relation to us.
Can you say, because he claims that it was professional, I think is what he said. So can you confirm that email was not exactly like a normal email you would receive from a lawyer? I mean, what would you describe it as if you had to use 2 words?
It was like, anyone who's ever messaged you, we need copies. And my response literally was, never contact me again.
What did he say?
It was like 6 paragraphs long, guys. This is the tip of the iceberg of crazy that was going on in that email. I didn't actually even read the whole thing. I just saw that it kept going and going, and it sounded like more and more crazy. I'm like, no. We didn't leak one of my mom's texts. In our studio. You're not famous. We didn't leak it. You posted on Twitter, Twix. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, he said that you basically told him to jump in a lake. So I was like, I don't think that's what happened, but okay, I guess I can ask.
Also, so what if you did? He's being an asshole.
Yeah. No, I literally said, never contact us again. I said, you leaked your own location. Don't contact me. Block.
Jump in a lake.
The fact that they're still doubling down on the fact that they're like, we never said anything about where we went. I'm like, sure, there's evidence on the internet of you telling everyone basically with that photo.
And he didn't. I don't think he even deleted the picture. I think it's still there.
I mean, I certainly never would have known if he hadn't posted the picture. So what?
I don't know if it's there or not. I don't follow him.
I don't either.
I forgot to tell you guys, he's been stalking our business LinkedIn page.
Oh, good.
Because you pay for premium and you can see who's viewing your page.
On business, yes, because we do LinkedIn advertising, so we can see all that good stuff. And I have the screenshot, so I was like, oh come on.
Oh my God.
Leave it alone, dude. Leave it alone. I'm not here to talk to you on every platform that ever existed on the planet.
Well, you blocked his email, so he has to get in touch with you somehow.
Also, I want to put it out there that
Twitter is still there, and we have responded to him publicly on Twitter.
Oh, so there you go.
Sorry, X. I like Elon Musk. X.
I know. That female pays for premium as well. So don't click if you were logged in.
Oh, too late. But she knows. I mean, come on.
Well, for
obviously, I do my research. So
might have their real name on their LinkedIn. Don't click on her LinkedIn.
No, I'm out here already, so it's not really a secret.
Wait, Ding Dong said that I told him to jump in a lake.
He said she basically told me to. I'm looking at it right now. Hang on.
I basically told him to fuck right off. That's basically what I said. So yeah, lake is maybe a nicer way of putting it, but
yeah. Let's see. It's inconvenient that I blocked him because every time now I have to say that show post anyways every time I click on his page, but I'd rather just leave it blocked.
Oh, cyber harassment.
Dude, he made such a weird deal about my blocking him. So I blocked him 7 months ago, and then a couple of months ago, sometime before Halloween, he starts tweeting about me, and he was gonna try to send me a message, and then he saw that he couldn't message me on Messenger because I had blocked him. So he tweeted about that too. And I was just like, sir, stop.
Is this surprising that no one wants to talk to him? I mean,
right.
We had one very cordial. Yeah, we had one very cordial interaction towards the beginning when he came on the case, because I was like, hey man, I just want to let you know, you might want to redact some of your client's information that you left on one of the postings you posted. And then he was like, no, it's fine. And that was the extent of our interaction. And that made it into a court filing somehow. And then me saying hey, don't telling people not to knock Laura's appearance or mock her appearance or anything. I was like, hey, that's not necessary. You guys shouldn't do that. That made it into a court filing. And this guy's like, Lauren, she's such a bitch. He didn't say it like that, but not yet anyways. But I'm just kind of serious.
Sit there to drag other people down based on their appearance. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of effort. It's let's if we're going to talk about something, let's talk about the injustice and crazy actions that you've started and continue to draw more and more people into.
Right.
That's all we need to talk about. The way that you look from day one to now, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's so many tweets. I should look at y'all's page. I can find it faster that way. Here we go. Because I don't want to read all that crap.
Oh, he blocks everyone? That's cute.
He does, yeah, he does. I guess I beat him to the punch on that.
Why do I think he's doing this for free for female? The only reason I think he's doing this is because it makes him relevant. Otherwise, he would be an irrelevant small town.
Well, when he posted this video the other day and put like comments for my haters, I was like, how old are you? What are you doing? Stop.
I think he wants to be like 25.
I mean, that's fine. I do too.
I do too.
Honestly.
Sign me up.
Don't be a dick. Okay, let's see.
When you
I also think
the truth.
I would add to, like, I know they didn't ask me why I think he's doing it for free, but I think it could potentially go back to that whole, like, how he could make a name for himself in Arizona as a lawyer if he keeps his license, doing this whole Rule 26 thing and being found in, you know, the ruling in his favor. It's just like the dirty case he did, like, and being on Dr. Phil and not saying a goddamn word the entire like episode, but he's like, I was on an episode, like touting that, you know, and like touting that case and like saying he's friends with the guy and all this stuff. Like it's and he'll tell that story until the day he dies. It's like his one claim to fame, and I think he saw another opportunity here.
Oh, exactly. That's it. This is because it's attached to The Bachelor. This is high profile.
Yep.
And Bachelor Nation goes hard. I'm learning.
Well, I haven't even talked about Clayton much lately, but Clayton, as much as like I told you, like the mental health aspect brought me to this case, but Clayton also, not because I was a huge Bachelor fan or anything. I watched Clayton's season of The Bachelor, but I'm not like a diehard Bachelor fan. I haven't really watched a full season since then. But Clayton sent me a really nice message once when I was having a hard time, and I like requested it. You know what the Cameo app is?
I've heard of it, but I don't know how it works.
Okay, so there's like celebrities, reality TV stars, anything like that. You can request a message from them, like a happy birthday or something. And I was like, I'm remembering when he was on one of the Bachelorette reunion shows right before he was the Bachelor, and they made him read mean tweets that people had put about him. And I was having a situation where I was having to read some like mean tweets that somebody had posted about me. So I sent him a request and was like, hey man, like I just wanted to say I really admire how you handled that. Like, what do you have any advice on like how to deal with this kind of stuff? How do you like let it roll off your shoulder? You know what I mean? And so he sends me back a 10-minute video, and he like doesn't charge me for it. It was like very thoughtful, very personal. And I just like really loved it. And to this day, I feel like it's some of the best advice I've ever gotten. So I love Clayton a lot. Not as like a fangirl, you know what I mean? But like I love that he's who
as a
he
human.
is. Yeah, right. So like but I haven't talked about Clayton much, so it's not even really related to The Bachelor anymore. People just care generally about
justice getting served. Right. My question also, you guys are gonna be like, you're such an idiot. Did all of this stuff with said female happen like right after he was The Bachelor? What's the timeline of I got on the TV show to
been at least, right? I think it'd been at least a year.
God, I didn't. Well, I told you I didn't
Bachelor in 2022,
season, so.
Right? Clayton Eckert, Bachelor. Hang on, I don't even remember. Season 26, yeah, and 22. Yeah, so it had been over a year.
Okay, so that kind of makes him a good target, right? If you're somebody who's looking to take advantage of something.
Yeah, and he was on the Bachelorette the season before that, right? And then that's how they picked him. So like he would have even been on TV for like, I don't know, 9 months to a year before that. And I believe he lived in Scottsdale at the time.
Did he? Most of them moved to Scottsdale right after. We've got like the Ari Lundy guy. I don't know how to say his last name.
Lyndike, is that it?
Yeah, they live here. I actually met one of his ex-girlfriends at a charity event once. She's like, I just dated The Bachelor and now he's on the TV show.
I like unpopular bachelors for some reason because I liked that guy too. So like all the bachelors that everyone hates, I'm like, no, those guys were cool. So
I have a
Anyways,
girlfriend who was on one of them, but she was a contestant
Oh.
to like get one of the guys, but I can't remember what guy it was. I only watched because she was on it, and then I stopped watching, and like the guy was
You
so
know,
unmemorable. I don't remember who he was.
I
you
knew,
know, Laura submitted a video. Sorry, female submitted a video to be on at least one season, and we've heard that it was 2 seasons.
You mean every season? You just didn't know about the rest.
Exactly.
I had one like really old classmate from elementary school was on Peter the Pilot season, and then also a guy that I swam with on the Olympic trials team in 2012. He was on JoJo season. He was the runner-up. His name was Robbie Hayes. I don't know if anybody in the comments will know who that is. No complaints about either one of those people though. I don't know them very well at all, but I was just like, oh my god, this is so weird that I know who this is. So
yeah,
it was interesting.
Yeah, Bachelor Nation. I mean, it's so easy to run into one of them. Ari, I remember in Scottsdale, had a really good billboard up, and instead of the Bachelor, it said the Realtor, but it had the O as like the little ring, kind of from the logo from the Bachelor show. And I was like, no, that's catchy. That's really catchy.
So I take it he's a realtor now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could never be a freaking realtor, man. I would be so bad at it. I'd just be like, guys, just look around and tell me if you want it.
And you have to like travel like all the time, like driving around.
I'm happy with my new work from home job. I work in the ER on weekends still, so I'll be there on Sunday, but most of the time I'm working at home now. So
that's nice.
That is nice.
Anyways,
details about what I think about your business in greater detail. No, I wouldn't. But if you'd like to keep giving me more evidence to add to my file, I mean, knock your socks off.
Should have said yes then. I don't know if you responded to that one. So this person was just like talking about how they were trolling.
Yeah, I did respond to that one.
He said the difference is that one person.
I didn't do it, and it's like, well, your chickadee is not on Twitter, so can't tell you.
Well, she is, I guess, but she doesn't really use it. I blocked hers too a long time ago. So it's like, please don't talk to me, you know. But she started at one point responding to people, and then she responded to one of my friends, calling her a stalker because she said something that Laura didn't like, and then Laura went and somehow found her employer, found out who she was employed by, and then tagged them in a tweet at that person. And I was just like, so who's the stalker? Like, what? So that was crazy.
She 100% stalks people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And has been for years.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, everybody who's got the idea that she came into my studio because I know Ashley, maybe she knows I'm neighbors with Clayton, or maybe she knows that I know Greg.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know.
I'm connected to both of them on Instagram, not Clayton, but Ashley and Greg. So I guess it's not terribly hard to put together, but I don't know. It just seems like so much effort.
Well, she's got time.
Yeah, I'm like, what would I do if I didn't have to work and I just lived in my parents' house? That'd be.
I mean, she counted how many videos have been made about her. She put that in one of her like most recent blogs.
I don't think that was even accurate.
I don't know.
Not accurate. So.
I don't, and then she was in, at least she might still be, but she was in Dave's Patreon. And taking like
David is also in Dave's Patreon because David posted a screenshot from Dave's Patreon today.
So. I mean, it could have come from Laura too, but
I like to think that he's just, really wants Dave.
They pay to subscribe to you guys? That's so wild.
Yeah, well, it's mostly just Dave.
She used a fake name though to subscribe.
Yeah, so we don't know who it is, other than because Chase J. Jones, he jumped the ship, so we don't know who she is now. But she also, and this was a long time ago. To my knowledge, she was the one who emailed me pretending to be an ex-boyfriend of hers and was like trying to. Yes, so she was trying to make me feel bad about saying that she was basically lying in her articles where she was like exploiting suicide to like try to get people to stop saying stuff she didn't like or something. And I basically was just like, I'm calling that out. And that's when I got that email. And then of course the person like says, I can totally provide you with ID or whatever. And as soon as you ask for ID, poof.
Gone. And the same person emailed Megan Fox, but a completely different tone in that email to her, but claiming to be the same person.
Yeah, and then there was the whole two-factor authentication thing. You plug in her phone number with the account and it works. So
Yeah, with the Chase J. Jones email, you
yeah,
put
Well,
in
wait. So that's the alias. That's what we got to look for.
that's one of them.
well, that's not even what she was in Patreon under. But that's the one who like wrote an article about Clayton and tried to defame him, saying he like danced to a video with the N-word in it, which was
Yeah.
a viral TikTok video. And
So,
so
yeah.
Wow, that's a freaking reach.
Per Dave,
yes.
he had another source that confirmed that she was the Chase J. Jones character, but
Yep.
so I guess Chase J. Jones was meant to be a black journalism student at a
A
historically black
junior at Howard University.
Yeah. And so she was basically like framing a person of color to try to like get Clayton in trouble or
Yeah,
something.
and Dave tried to subpoena Chase J. Jones for his case, the case he tried to open against Dave. And sorry, I'm getting over a cold. And Chase J. Jones filed a quash, tried to quash the subpoena, and so it was, I think it was granted. But so she also filed, a false document under like a fake person's name.
Mhm. K-Dubs, thank you for the $10. Layla, it's a lot. It's just a lot. Glad you were here.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Very, very sweet. Oh
JFC
boy.
Mod, I love the thought of Laura paying Dave $5 a month. I mean, she probably has like 3 or 4 alts just in case, so I would say it's more like 20, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And Mike confirmed that she had a history of like using a lot of alt accounts on Facebook and Instagram, like even back in 2016.
The fact that this has been going on that long, I think, is what breaks my heart the most. It's just, when I first got involved, it sounded like it pretty much started in 2013 or 2022, recent. And then now to think that it's gone on for this long, and
At
that,
least since 2014.
but the fact that justice has not prevailed
right.
in just getting this done is pathetic.
Exactly. It's crazy. And like I've given this speech a lot, but one of the things that really drew it to me is like I have a history of an abusive relationship, like she claimed happened with Mike. I have a history of being with someone who lied about literally everything. I think they were probably a pathological liar, including saying they had a deceased ex-girlfriend that I found out never existed.
Wow.
Which was crazy. So anyway, and then I thought about like these guys and someone like Mike, for example, who didn't have that family support at the time because family, like I get it. They thought, who would lie about all this stuff? Why would they lie about this? Like, I love you, but like you must have done this stuff. Like what they didn't they didn't know. They didn't know what she was like truly. So I thought, what if that was my son? What if it was my brother, my whoever, my good friend who is going through this and no one is supporting them, no one's believing them. And they're just having to live this life with her in it, constantly like trying to control it by renewing this restraining order. So anyway, that's and I feel my husband said like when are you going to be done with this stuff? And I was like, I don't know.
So my husband's asking the same question. He's like, not again. And I was like, oh, yes.
Like, I feel like I've made a commitment at this point to help. And like, I don't know. They're real people who really need help.
Well, my thing is you shouldn't get away with messing with this many people. But
Right.
then just selfishly, do not fuck with my business, my reputation, or my team. Don't do it. Anybody.
Yes.
That's like public service warning number 1, because there will be consequences for those actions. Because I'm a sane, normal person, but I've spent 14 years building something. You guys aren't going to go around yapping your mouths and lying.
Yeah. And
So
I am so sorry this has happened to you, but
it's so much worse to everything that else has happened, right? Like this is the stupidest of the little things.
Yeah.
Everybody else's shit has been so much worse, but now it's just like whatever it takes, right? Like that's the point that everybody's at. Whatever it takes to stop.
I'm glad that in a sense, I'm glad she did it to someone like you who's not going to put up with this shit, who's not going to get scared and step back and just let it happen. Like you're so badass. You're just on top of it. And you're like, I'm like you said, don't do that. Don't try to do that to my business. and to me, to my employees. So
Mhm.
anyway, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are the ones out here like day in and day out. So I appreciate the heck out of you guys for even sharing all this.
Well, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So
And to your fans, female and lawyer, just want you to know that once again, public service announcement, you can put a stop to these things. It is not that difficult. You have a couple more days. Let's be sane here and stop the escalation. I know you're watching. Hello.
that makes me feel so uncomfortable when I think about that. I'm just like, I know that I'm.
But you already know. You're the one who just
Yeah.
told me.
No, I know, because she's she's tried to obviously strike me before a bunch of times and failed, but like, so I'm like, I know you're watching my shit. Like,
And she struck my channel back in November of 23 for posting a
right.
court video that I put her name in the title, and she reported it to YouTube and they removed it, but then I got it reinstated.
Yeah,
Ridiculous. Yeah, and then Mike took a video of her riding horses and falling off because she has a history of that, of fall, and it's like, okay, whatever, like people fall off of horses, but like, but she, anyway, it's like the narrative she's trying to push is different. So anyway, I posted those videos and then she had those removed and I got 2 copyright strikes on my channel for that. And if you get 3, like, you're fucked.
Well,
So-
the horse thing, that was relevant because her epilepsy timeline does not exactly add up. She's claimed multiple different things caused the epilepsy. One of them was she sued Uber for an accident that she was in, saying that caused the epilepsy. And then also, but she also said, I believe at some point, that it was the horse thing, maybe, or like,
No,
what was
she
it?
never said it was horses. She said it was from Uber. And she
from
even
Mike.
texted, and she texted
Yeah.
Mike and told him like when that accident happened, she's like, oh my God, I just passed out in my kitchen and I was on the phone with my mom. I'm going to the hospital, like multiple times, said she's going to the hospital for this like head injury she got. And she got a settlement from Uber. We don't know what it was, but it was like a private settlement.
Well, she should be able to pay her bills then.
Exactly.
Away from this. I'm grabbing my charger. I'm listening now.
Yeah.
And then she also claimed that it was from the domestic violence from Mike, is how she got her brain injuries.
There's a lot of stories going on at once.
Yep.
Karen Carson, thank you for the $2. Hey, Laura. Hey, Dingus. Well, at least Karen was nice in her greeting.
I think it's from falling off horses so much.
Maybe. Could be.
Did you actually? I did some research into that. So I can't remember what the name of the disease is, but it's what the like football players get sometimes that affects their brains. Horseback riding, people who are riders have an even higher percentage of that brain disease or whatever you want to
We're
call it.
talking about CTE?
Yeah, they have a higher percentage of that than even football players.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what Aaron Hernandez said.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to say she's like a bad rider or anything, but if she does fall off frequently and people at the barn saw her fall off frequently, Mike saw her fall off frequently. We have videos of her falling off. Yeah. And that's just in competition, not even when she's practicing, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if she did have something from that. And like maybe it would even explain like some of what's going on.
Kitty Meow, thank you for the $10. Great trio of beauty, brains, and snark. So glad I caught this live. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, CTE is pretty bad though. People were pointing it out here. CTE, okay. But yeah, CTE is pretty ugly.
Okay, well, I mean, if you can go to the doctor and prove that, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of it seems like a lot of her conditions are self-reported from what we can tell.
Sorry, yes. I'm laughing at a comment here. It's don't fuck with justice. I can't.
Oh man.
My theory is the horses can tell she's psycho and kick her off.
That's probably true. I mean, I know they could sense my fear, so maybe they do have that.
They can sense my fear too. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm not trying to get thrown off this sucker today.
I rode a horse one time. It was on Amelia Island. I was 25 or 24, and I cried a bunch because I was just like, I was like, this horse fucking hates me. It's about to take off, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And my cousin was on a horse next to me, and like her horse would get a little close to my horse, and I was just like taking it out on her so much. I was like, "Why are you doing that?" And obviously the horse was doing it, and my cousin, it's like, "Stop, stop!" And then like tears streaming down my face, like I'm gonna die.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was awesome because it was just us and the instructor and one other lady, so I got lots of attention for that, which I did not want.
Wait, you said you were an Olympic athlete, swimmer?
Me, no, I went to Olympic trials, which is like you swim the trial meet to qualify for the Olympics, but no, I didn't go to the Olympics. So that was back in 2012, though. That was a long time ago.
But you have friends who did, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool. What an accomplishment, though, to be that good of a swimmer.
Yeah.
And it was feels like a different life now. I'm just like, I couldn't do half of what I used to do now. I'm just kind of like, I'm too tired. Man, but I guess I'm not 20 anymore. You know what I mean? So,
well, your priorities change too, right? I used to work out freaking 7 days a week, and now I'm 3 days be beautiful based on the schedule. But you've got life, you've got friends, you've got health things. Everybody's got different things now that you're out of the college era where you had more time. I feel like we all thought we were so stressed out in that time frame, and then looking back, I'm like, we had no idea.
There was literally nothing that I needed to be worried about. Like, what is your problem, dude?
Seriously.
So, I don't know. We had morning practice for 2.5, 3 hours, and then we would have like weights during the day at some point, like noon or 1, and then we would come back at 3 or 4 for practice again for 2.5, 3 hours. So it was just nutty. We had Sundays off most of the time, but that was about it. And if we weren't doing weights in the middle of the day, we would do like some dry land exercises before getting in the pool and stuff like that. So it's just like I don't know. So I burnt out so hard after like 15 or 16 years of that I'm now just like the laziest person. Like, not like lazy in the fact that I'll work hard, but not physically. Like physically, I don't want to go down the stairs unless I have to. So
no, I understand that. I grew up in Baltimore for high school, and my best friend's brother trained with Michael Phelps, and he did the trials. He didn't make it, but obviously Phelps went on. That was like the start of the Phelps career, which was pretty cool. But I mean, we would see these practices. It was nuts. How hard you guys have to work to get to that point alone.
Yeah.
Michael's a special sort of guy. Like, people have said a bunch of times, like, oh, he has Marfans, he's just built for it. But I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, the reason he was as successful as he was is he never took a day off for like, I want to say like 4 years leading up to Beijing. The amount that he had to eat to keep his body, like keep nutrition in his body. Like, Michael Phelps is he seems like a really cool dude. I only met him once briefly because after I finished my swimming career, I was actually doing media. My first job was as a journalist. So I was covering swim meets and stuff like that. And he was a nice guy. But the thing I love about him the most is like, and this is going to sound kind of controversial, but like he really came back from like the whole DUI controversy pretty well. I think he got like clean and sober, and you could really see how he's like enjoying his life again, how he really like enjoyed being around the fans in the way that he did not before. Because he seemed like very frustrated and just very like, I don't want to be here. That's how he seemed to me for a while. Because like, as much as I, didn't want to like bother the guy, you would see him a lot at meets around stuff like that. Could go to nationals or whatever. So like, he seemed like a really nice, approachable guy, like a totally different person after that. So like, people will condemn like some people, and I understand it. Like, if you get a DUI or something like that, like they're like, you're like a terrible person, like I'll never support you again. But in my opinion, like his story is just such an example of somebody like coming back from like the depths of like, he was in a dark place, you could tell, after 2008, because it's like, where do you go from here?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I
really admire
experiences
that guy.
with him. He's a nice guy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he lives in Scottsdale too.
Oh,
Also,
yeah,
right down the street. We could all just hang out. That'll be so fun.
Be like, have you guys heard about?
You're gonna get Lauren out here. Maybe Dave Neal could do a comedy set. Like, it'll just be great.
I want to go see one of Dave's shows really bad. He's not too far away from me now. I'm actually going to be in Nashville in a month, so I don't know if he's going to be doing a show though, so we'll see.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I know isn't he supposed to do something out there sometime in the near future?
I think he's going to do like his one-man show that's all about this case.
Right.
Wait, how is that legal? Oh no.
I don't know.
It's a fictional story.
A lot of it is fiction. Exactly.
Man,
that's true.
I'm friends with a comedian. He's a Persian comedian. His name's Kayvon Moezi, and he got really big. I'd known him forever and wasn't that big. Then COVID hit, and he started to get very outspoken and political and like lean into just all the chaos going on around him. And he's like, that's what blew his career up. But then he said like it was also polarizing once it ended because then people like would attack him and stuff. So I know that he's like comedy, you used to be able to say anything and get away with it because it was just to get people to laugh. And now people have to be so much more thoughtful about how they structure their jokes and stuff, which really kind of takes the fun out of it. So I'm sure that Dave has a strategy behind how he structures his sets.
Bruce, I guess, went to Dave's spring show in Scottsdale. I think he went there to the spring show in Scottsdale. You met Bruce last time, Laura.
Hello, Bruce.
Yeah, so he's been to one. I'm kind of jealous. I mean, he's probably been to more than one, but if Dave's doing something when I'm out there, then I will definitely go to that. But all right, it is almost 11 o'clock here, and so I'm about ready to get to bed.
I have not even eaten today, so I gotta go.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Just don't eat a burrito.
No, I gotta wrap these Christmas gifts for my team because I'm still at the office, and then I gotta get my ass home.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We're gonna sign off now, and we will catch you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.